can see inequality in Colombia everywhere. According to Wikipedia, legal inequality refers to a legal discrimination to a person in a court because economic, racial, or religious reasons. This means that a person has more possibilities to be assaulted if they are rich or they are white or they are not an immigrant. So according with the Power Distance Index, Colombia is a country that believes uh, that inequalities are a simple fact of life, and also are a society that accept inequalities in all layers of their society. An example of this could be that recently in Colombia, a political party promoted a referendum to get loud the salary of the congressman. That is obvious that these congressmen do not deserve to receive this high salary because they do not do their work and they are related with so many cases of corruption. But the incredible news are that this referendum could not be adopted because it requires a certain number of votes and people in Colombia did not go to vote. In comparison with other countries like Iceland, Finland, or Norway, that they do not accept inequality in any layers of their society, and they are in the top of country with equality in all layers of their society.
Colombia, according to the Constitution of '91, is denominated a freedom of worship country. It means that everyone in Colombia can believe in any religion that they want, even though a certain group or cluster of believers can believe in anything, only following their own custom and rules. Despite that it exists a freedom of religion in Colombia, it doesn't mean that it exists a quality of religion. For each religion, it is a unique way or correct way to reach God. For example, Catholic thinks that the way to reach God is through Virgin Maria. For them, Virgin Maria is intermediate. But for Christian, the way to reach God is through prayer. And this makes a different way to reach God. For that, Colombia is an inequality religion country. Exactly happened to Chile. Chile is a freedom of worship country and they respect the all believing that they have in the whole country. But why this happened? According to the Hobson model, it says that it is a criteria that is uncertainty avoidance index, UAI. Each criteria say if the country has a high degree in this criteria, that means that the country is conservative. It's not liberal, it's conservative, but it doesn't mean that it is a unique rule in the whole country. No, it doesn't mean that. It means that in the country it is a few groups, a lot of groups or clusters that they have their own rules and they have their own custom. For that way, Colombia has a different way to reach to God. That means that
inequality in Colombia and Iceland. Gender inequality refers to the difference of achievements between women and men. By Gender Inequality Index, that they account three important aspects: economic situation, empowerment, and reproductive health. I will compare two different countries, Colombia and Iceland. Colombia is the country with the highest level in Latin America with the gender inequality. On the other hand, Iceland is emerging as the first nation of the planet with gender equality. For example, according to UN, Colombian parliament is conforming for less 20% of women. Also, most of the political and economical decisions taken by men. In contrast, Ireland parliament is conforming with 50% of women. And after the National Women's Street, Iceland prohibit pay different salary for gender reasons. It means Iceland is working for be first nation of gender parity. And in my opinion, Catholic Church has a great influence in the place women has given. So the labor has been divided. Private is one for women and public one for men. By Gender Inequality Index that they account three important aspects: economic situation, empowerment, and reproductive health. I will compare to different countries, Colombia and Iceland. Colombia is the country with the highest level in Latin America with the gender inequality. On the other hand, Iceland is emerging as the first nation of the planet with gender equality. For example, according to UN, Colombian parliament is conforming for less 20% of women. Also, most of the political and economical decisions taken by men. In contrast, Ireland parliament is conforming with 50% of women. And after the National Women's Street, Iceland prohibit pay different salary for gender reasons. It means Iceland is working for be first nation of gender parity. And in my opinion, Catholic Church has a great influence in the place women has given. So the labor has been divided. Private is one for women and public one for men.
Economic inequality is the unequal distribution of incomes and opportunity between different groups in a society. In Colombia, this is one of the biggest problems, and it's really common to see the huge differences in the quality of life just because one person is from a higher or a lower social strata. Colombia is the second most unequal country in Latin America after Brazil, and with the scores of 69 and 67 in the Power Distance Index, it shows that there is a big concentration of power and a big concentration of wealthness just in a small part or in a small percentage of all the population in Colombia. In fact, most of the poverty is located in Colombia's countryside, and sadly, this is a fact that is accepted. The inequality in Colombia is a fact that is produced by many factors. For example, the unequal access and low quality in education, the political violence from the guerrilla and the paramilitary groups, the labor market and the differences in the labor earnings, the corruptions, etc. The last year, more than 300 children died of malnutrition and the lack of access to the healthcare, and around 14 million of Colombian people live below the country's poverty rate in 2017. That means that they live with less than the minimum salary and they survive with a small amount of money each month. The economic inequality caused resentment in a part of the population because not all the people have the same opportunities, and it caused social problems and the increase of violence and the increase of delinquency because the people are disagree with the fact that not all the people are in the same condition.